we can't truly love without hate. Because of the vastness and fragmentedness of things. Because things are not already perfect. If they were perfect, they would be definitionless. They would just be. Because they're not perfect, there's two sides
GPS signal lost.
to things. So I can't love truth unless I hate lies. If I think I love truth, but do not hate tries, I deceive myself. So the more that I hate truth, or the more that I hate lies, is the more that I love truth. It's a range. And it's balanced. So the fact that I hate lies shows that I love truth. So Jesus was the way, the truth. That was a title that he was given, a parabolic title. So Christ was the truth. You can't love truth, you can't love Christ unless you hate untruth. Untruth would be antichrist. If Christ is the truth, then untruth is antichrist. Untruth is written upon everybody and every operating system. So, if Christ is truth, lie is antichrist, then we are all antichrist, where we're affected by lies. So, boom, that fits into every title, every lesser title that we use, that we define ourselves as. Another word that was used, the way. Okay? If there is a way, it's a path, a map. There's a map. Are you following the way? There's a true map. There's opposites. There's every kind of opposite. There are untrue maps. Untrue routes, untrue paths. Untrue paths are antichrist. Any path not actively creating likenesses of Christ, the things that he did, is an antichrist path. To be love for hate. They rely upon each other. It's just there's a range of love and hate that can be accurate or inaccurate, or optimal or inoptimal, or truth or untruth. So to love something, I have to hate something. I have to hate the opposite. But we have to be as foundational and as structural as we can. We need to apply ourselves to vaster definitions. And we need to judge the definitions more than the people. We need to judge the systems more than the people. Because the people are only what the systems create them to be. So, to love something, I hate something. I have to, in order to love righteousness, love what is right and pure, I have to hate unrighteousness. Again, the greater that I hate unrighteousness, the more that righteous hate is present, the more that my love is pure and accurate and true. If I don't hate unrighteousness, I cannot love righteousness. God is a God of justice. Everybody wants justice. We can only have something in the absence of the opposite. If I don't hate unjust things, then I can't love justice. If people accept one, it forces away we have to hate unjust things. We can't have the things that work unless we identify the things that don't work. Every title is affected by the virus, so what parts don't work? The greatest way to get what we want is to stop what doesn't work as close to us as possible. So within our definition. Okay, I don't like the term Christian anymore, but that's a foundation. You know, follower of the way. I like that term. That's what they used early on. But because so many people have the title of Christian, if I want to enhance the parts of Christ and the teaching of Christ that are accurate and true, if I want that truth to flourish, the untruth, the greatest way for me to connect with you on what's true is by first connecting with you by what's not true. So if I want to strengthen the good parts of Christianity, I need to destroy the parts of Christianity that aren't right, or where I have seen or experienced error. And even more than what we see, statements trigger people. Everybody can see that. Just a statement of a simple truth, because it's interpreted differently than it's spoken, and it hits some trigger. But if I speak experience and testimony is never wrong. Testimony is just giving an account. So if I give an account of what I've experienced that was wrong with church, it can't trigger people. They will more easily relate to it. So I want what Christians want and declare. The best way that I can do that is by attacking Christianity, the parts that don't work, because that's the part that's going to trigger somebody, the hypocrisies that they've seen. If I can't connect with them in the place that's not right, how can I connect with them in the place that is right? I'm restricted by what's not right. It lingers. It festers. But if I can connect and this is wrong, that's wrong, point out the ugliest of uglies, the worst of the worst, only then can I really connect with the best of the best. Because it's not about church, it's about building the body, which is all people. So everybody wants to make somebody else like them, which in a sense is true, that's half right, but we also need to, in order to make them like us, we first have to become like them. Jesus was all things to all people. If we become like them, then we have common ground with them. We can speak their language. We can understand them. Every person is a unique language. Every person is like a unique operating system. If I can get myself to become their operating system while still being me, not being double-minded, fully being me and making me interchangeable with them without losing what I know to be true by experience, then my experience changes them. The process of becoming like them, I experience them. I become more like them. It's not that they are coming to us. We gotta go to them. I have to be able to go as close to them as I want them to come to me. There's no middle ground. And in reality, I have to go to them first. Not go to them to convert. Go to them to learn how to be them. How to become like them. How to be connected with the parts of them that are the same as me. Because we're all interchangeable, we're all created in the same likeness. There's just the virus polluting the different pieces. The virus makes us not interchangeable. The virus makes us think that we have to be the head and everybody else is the tail. But in the kingdom and in truth, the head is the tail. It's a circle. It's the head, the first, will make themselves last to absorb, to integrate in the right ways with what is, because that's the only way to make an exchange. It's not about giving somebody what I have, and it's not about taking what they have. It's both. In order, and it has to be the same. I will gain as much as I give. The reason I don't go trying to gain, I go trying to give. And I get as a result. So if I go trying to give, I'm just trying to bless and enhance. I'm not trying to push any doctrine or information. Just, if this is the body, another cell in the body, how do I add to that cell in the body? How do I bless with any part of me that could be added to them? It creates more of the same, and I get. And in the process of adding to, you get added to. You don't get added to in the kingdom way by taking in any way. You only get kingdom growth, kingdom building by giving away. the greater we give in from the bracket of us to others, from the bracket of organizations into external things, the more that we get the thing we're trying to give. Because the greatest power, the biggest spark is going to come from the things that aren't already there. It takes something outside of us to trigger some things, to activate some things. We can't solve problems from the same mentality, the same mindset that created them. It has to come from the outside, and then the real change comes from within. I think that's a big one. We try too hard to make everything like us. That's impossible. If I become like the things that are different than me, we don't become different. Why don't people do that? Because they're not strong enough. They're not strong enough to expand out of the old boxes. It's fear. They only know how to take the steps that are already before them. That's being a true co-creator. It's like, is stepping out of the boxes. It's being the bridge in between brackets. To build the bridge, it's not that you're becoming the bracket, you're just building the bridge. And you build the bridge by being the bridge. It takes a level of letting people walk on you in the right ways. The variations that are just stained with the information differences. You lay your life down in that aspect. But that doesn't mean don't be the lion reaching up and out towards structural injustices, the structural, systematic things that keep the information going, that feed that bad system. That's almost a sign for churches, religions, faith stuff. It's like, it's about creating the harmony of the whole. I think that's a safe assumption. Nonprofits, different faiths. That's the goal. There's some disharmony, there's some lack, and it's trying to correct some lack, some imbalance, some injustice. It's trying to create a more level playing field. It's trying to strengthen things on the bottom in its own way. So the greatest defining mark is like, okay, how do we add to specific people? That's the first layer. On the ground level, the places that we can reach, our unique reach. That's the baseline. The next level is how do we add to the things that are different than us? Because the people's needs aren't as simple as the one thing that we're focusing on. It's vast. So how do we add to those? How are we connected to those in the ways that add to both, that add to the people, that don't subtract from us? We can add to others without subtracting to us. We don't add to others because we protect ourselves. Self-preservation is anti-Christ. Unless we add to others, we won't get added to. We have to be the source of that which we need. So by adding to others, I actually get added to. And it's really any way that we can add to others, we're adding to the people that we're trying to serve. So a higher benchmark of being on the right path is that we are extending outside of ourselves, not just the service level, but to meeting and serving others that are serving, building the bridges there so that the output is greater. It's not even saying that we have to be united in any type of authority, nothing. It's just, where are there places in common? Where are there intersections? We don't want to waste our bandwidth, our output, on something someone else is doing. And if someone else is doing it, how can we complement each other rather than bumping heads or wasting resources, time and resources? Because if 10 people have the same goal, then it's just 10 veins starting from zero. If all 10 veins equal one vein, a rope, a strand, it's so much stronger, infinitely stronger. So in church, a big benchmark is not building the building church. Those need to be converted to other things. The output, on an output level, there can be religion, there can be whatever, that'll all fade away and taper off. But it's the output. Are you connected on an output level with things other than you? Because you're not it. There's a hard truth. You're not it. Unless your title is the body, which is bigger than all titles. It is the title above all titles. If your title's not the body, you're not it. Okay, now that we've established that the lesser title's not it, we can establish what the greater title is. That's the body. Everybody's the body. The virus keeps the body separated, fragmented, broken, fighting itself, hijacking itself, hiding things, manipulating systems. When you know you're the body, you'll hate what's not the body. When you know that you are the antivirus, you will hate the virus. The virus is any definition besides the body. If you call yourself church, if you call yourself counselor, if you call yourself any title, any bracket, that's good in the world, that's not adequate in the kingdom. You're the body. What body part are you? There you go. That's how you convert it. Because in the body, it works different than we look at things. The body does things that affect every single cell in the body, that affects every single organ in the body. We got to realize that the cells are parts of organs, that are parts of limbs, that are parts of systems. And the systems are part of the whole. All the parts are necessary as long as the greater definitions are defined properly. So if you look at a tithe, the tithe isn't money. That's a tainted version in my perspective, but whatever, it's not as essential for this. Our tithe is our first fruits, that our bandwidth. It can be whatever. It can be time. It can be resources. It's something. Because money is not a good standard. Money is part of the virus. The way that we understand and use money, it is the virus that fragments the body more, that hurts the body more. spent as much time trying to hack ourselves as we do trying to hack others, it would be amazing. If we judged ourselves rightly, there would be no place for someone else to have to judge us.